fading light of the late Cretaceous sky, a shadow could stretch longer than a small aircraft. It belonged to Quetzalcoatlus northripi, the largest flying animal ever known. With a wingspan rivaling that of a modern small plane and a height similar to a giraffe when standing, this creature defied every expectation of what evolution could create. It was not a dinosaur, but a pterosaur, a lineage of flying reptiles that mastered the skies long before birds. Quetzalcoatlus emerged as both a sky sovereign and a land stalker, blending the precision of a predator with the grace of a glider. Its enormous wings, dagger-like beak, and silent hunting style made it one of the most remarkable animals to ever exist on Earth. Quetzalcoatlus northripi was a masterpiece of prehistoric engineering. Its wings stretched 10 to 12 meters across, forming a vast membrane of leathery skin supported by a single elongated fourth finger. Standing upright, it reached nearly 5 meters tall. Its neck was extremely elongated, longer than its torso, and ended with a sharply pointed, toothless beak designed for precision hunting. Despite its size, Quetzalcoatlus was astonishingly lightweight. Hollow bones, air sacs throughout the body, and a narrow chest made it engineered for efficient flight. Its estimated weight was only 200 to 250 kilograms, light enough to take off with its powerful forelimbs. Its voice was likely deep, resonant, and trumpeting, similar to a mix between a stork's hiss and a crocodilian bellow, echoing across the plains in bursts used for territory, warning, and mating calls. With a combination of leathery skin, sparse hair-like pycnofibers, and a tall head crest, it carried the look of a primeval phantom ruling the skies of Cretaceous Texas. Quetzalcoatlus lived approximately 68 to 66 million years ago during the late Cretaceous period. Fossils were first discovered in what is now Texas, in regions that once formed part of a vast inland ecosystem bordering rivers, lakes, and coastal plains. It shared its world with iconic giants like Tyrannosaurus rex, Triceratops, and Alamosaurus. But unlike these ground-bound titans, Quetzalcoatlus existed in an ecological niche nearly untouched by any other large predator: the air above and the open plains below. The earth was warmer, sea levels were higher, and forests were lush with ferns and conifers, shaping a world perfectly suited for an animal that mixed soaring flight with long-distance terrestrial stalking. Quetzalcoatlus thrived in warm floodplains, open savannas, river valleys, and semi-arid shrublands. It did not build nests high in trees like birds. Instead, it preferred flat, open areas, safe from ambush predators, and ideal for launching into flight. During the day, it was alert, opportunistic, and constantly on the move. Scientists believe it used a unique quadrupedal launch technique, pushing off the ground with the explosive power of its front limbs to catapult itself upward. In the sky, it glided effortlessly for long distances, scanning for prey. On the ground, it walked with a confident, almost stilt-like gait, using all 4 limbs, resembling a giant heron with an extended stride. Wind direction, ground vibrations, and visual cues guided it through its vast hunting territory. When mating season arrived, Quetzalcoatlus likely gathered in colonies, using vocal calls, body posture, and crest displays to attract partners. Males may have tilted their heads, flared their necks, and stretched their wings to show dominance. Once a pair bond formed, the female searched for a wide open space with soft sediment or sandy terrain to bury her eggs. She likely laid 1 to 3 eggs with soft shells, similar to other pterosaurs. Once hatched, the offspring were surprisingly independent. Quetzalcoatlus babies could walk and even flap strongly soon after birth, though they still stayed near the colony for safety. Parents guarded the nesting area, but did not feed the young mouth to mouth. Instead, the chicks foraged small insects and vertebrates on their own, while adults protected the territory through intimidating displays and loud warning calls. Quetzalcoatlus did not hunt like a seabird, despite common belief. Instead, it behaved more like a giant terrestrial stalking predator.
With long legs and an elevated viewpoint, it walked slowly through floodplains, scanning for movement. When it spotted prey, small dinosaurs, baby hadrosaurs, lizards, turtles, carrion, or even fish in shallow waters, it lunged with deadly precision. The pointed beak functioned like a biological spear, delivering swift strikes, followed by a quick swallow. Feeding was fast and efficient. Offspring likely fed themselves, but the adults defended the group fiercely. Their defense mechanism relied on intimidation, raising wings, hissing loudly, snapping jaws, and charging with fast, spring-loaded strides. Their size alone deterred most predators, but if attacked by something like a young Pterosaur, Quetzalcoatlus would use its wings and sharp beak to deliver powerful blows before taking a rapid four-limb-powered launch into the air. Quetzalcoatlus vanished during the mass extinction event 66 million years ago. When a massive asteroid struck the Yucatan Peninsula, global ecosystems collapsed. Wildfires blocked sunlight, freezing temperatures, and starvation cascaded through food chains. Large flying animals like Quetzalcoatlus depended on stable prey populations and predictable warm currents for gliding. As plant life died, herbivores declined, and scavenging opportunities fell. Severe climate swings likely made long-distance gliding impossible. Within a few years to decades after the impact, Quetzalcoatlus and most large pterosaurs disappeared forever, marking the end of the reptilian masters of the sky. The late Cretaceous climate was hotter and more humid than today's world, with little polar ice and widespread warm coastal plains. Atmospheric oxygen was slightly higher, and thermal updrafts were stronger, ideal for giant gliders. Today's climate, with colder poles, divided continents, and more turbulent weather, would challenge a creature dependent on stable warmth and calm air. Vegetation has shifted from fern-dominated plains to mixed forests and grasslands, altering feeding landscapes entirely. Surprisingly, yes, if placed in the right regions. Modern savannas, deserts, and coastal plains with warm temperatures could support such a giant aardvark, but it would face new predators, human interference, power lines, cities, and reduced open space. Modern wind patterns and air turbulence would make gliding harder, but not impossible. Their biggest challenge would be habitat fragmentation. However, if large protected reserves existed, Quetzalcoatlus could adapt. In a modern ecosystem, Quetzalcoatlus would likely take on a slightly more robust build to handle stronger winds. Its coloration might become more muted, matching dry grasslands or sandy terrain. It would live similarly to large storks or condors, soaring above plains, scavenging, hunting small animals, and nesting in remote open areas. With human pressure minimized, it could thrive as an apex aerial predator, gliding across deserts like the Sahara, Australian outback, or Texas plains, echoing its ancient origins with a modern twist. Quetzalcoatlus could theoretically take off in just a few steps despite its size. Its neck was so long that it held extra vertebrae unseen in most animals. It walked like a quadrupedal vampire bat, but the size of a giraffe. It had the flight capabilities of a glider plane, yet could stalk prey silently like a giant heron. And most astonishingly, despite being one of the largest flying animals ever known, it weighed less than a human adult. In every sense, Quetzalcoatlus northropy was one of evolution's most astonishing creations. Are you curious how these giant birds lived when there was no presence about a million years ago? Here we have created some visuals with the help of AI for better understand about this species. Hope you enjoyed and got enough information about this giant bird. Stay with us to more about extinct species. Make sure to subscribe and comment down below if you want to know about any extinct species.